Alright, making me another YouTube video to continue to help inspire new players, new guitar players and stuff, continue their journey or continue playing their guitar to get better at it. Some things I'm going to go over in this video are first off a little bit of tuning, which won't take very long, as well as a little bit of metronome, exercises and practices, dedication, which I've mentioned quite a few of this in the other videos I've put out, but I think these keys are these topics that I'm talking about and stuff are quite important in daily playing, especially when first learning how to play guitar. So if you haven't watched any of the other videos yet and stuff, first off, I've only been playing for about 4 or 5 months, so I'm not great at playing guitar yet, but I am progressing. On average and stuff, I tend to pick up my guitar and play it for at least a half hour a day. Yesterday ended up going to about somewhere between 2 and 6 hours of playing, if not longer than that. Other days and stuff, if I don't have a whole lot of time to spare, it's just maybe a half hour of playing and stuff just to get my fingers on the frets and stuff and working them out. But first thing, let's start off with making sure my guitar's in tune. So I got my tuner, which is built into the amp that I use. Now I don't use my amp when I'm making these videos, just because when you're first learning how to play guitar and stuff, you don't necessarily need an amp. All you really need is the guitar itself. But let's check the tuning and stuff. It's an E, it's top string open. Next string down should be an A, it's correct. Next string down should be a D, it's correct. Next string down should be a G, and that's correct. I'm looking over at my amp to make sure. Next string down is a B, and the final string, another E. Again, this is E standard tuning and stuff. If you watch my other videos and stuff, I talk a little bit about the tuning and stuff and how guitars can be tuned differently by turning these tuning knobs to adjust the tuning of the strings and stuff. It's basically just adding more tension or releasing some of the tension on the strings. If you need help with that and stuff, there's other YouTube videos out there you can check out to see about different tuning styles or how to tune or whatnot. If you don't have a tuner, I will try to find one on the internet and stuff to where I can post a link to it in the descriptions and stuff below. But and there are free apps and stuff you can get on your phone and stuff to help you tune your guitar. There's also something else I'm going to end up using, which is a metronome. You can get probably another app on your phone and stuff for a metronome to help you keep up with timing. Again, what I want to mention though is when you're got your fingers on your strings and you're playing or practicing or whatnot and stuff, if you end up getting any finger pain, that is normal. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build up calluses on your fingers and stuff so you can sit there and hold the strings down without feeling that pain. All calluses is tougher skin. So you're trying to strengthen the skin on your fingertips and stuff so you can continue going through the strings, practicing and stuff, and you don't get that pain. Do not let it exceed the point to where your fingertips are bleeding. At that point in time, you're going to have to give so much time that you may not come back to playing the guitar. And that's not what these videos are about. So there are other things you can do in the process and stuff while you're waiting on the pain to go away, and I'll kind of demonstrate that as well. So guitar is in tune. I'm going to start with my warm-ups, exercises, practices from there. And like I said, I do have my amp turned on. I'm going to turn the volume on my guitar itself all the way down. That way I can turn the metronome on so you guys can actually hear what a metronome is supposed to sound like. So give me just a second here. I'm going to turn it down to 50. If you're first picking up a guitar for the first time, this is what should sound like 50 beats per minute. Basically what that is every time the metronome makes a sound, you should be picking a string, or if you're using chords and stuff, you should be strumming the strings. So if we were to keep up with 50 beats per minute, it would sound like this. Just basically keeping up with the metronome every time it makes a sound. You're strumming a string. Now, that's just an example of what a metronome could sound like and stuff. I've got a variety of sounds on my amp built in and stuff. As what you were seeing here, me doing and stuff, this is what I started with doing when I first played, first picked up the guitar. And all this simply is just an exercise or practice for one, warming up, which I do on a daily basis anyways. Going through each string, the first 4 frets. At the same time, if you watch his hand and stuff, I'm alternating picking up and down. So up and down picking. If your fingers start to hurt when you're going through this and stuff, you can still do things back here to help you learn things. So one of the things I am actually currently learning is trying to get strumming patterns down or picking patterns down. Every song has their own strumming pattern or picking pattern, whether it's or any other kind of style. And that's something else you can use with the metronome. So if you speed the metronome up, let's see if I can do it here real quick. I'm going to turn it up to about 150. Now this metronome will go clear up to 300 beats per minute, but you can see just how an additional 100 beats a minute speeds it up tremendously. To where when you're practicing, it's but if your fingertips are hurting because of the pain from the strings and you need to give your fingers a break, there's also make sure that every down strum is basically going along with metronome. If you can add the up strum in there, or the up, yeah. So every time you go down, you should hear the sound of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting doesn't hurt. Counting, you can use your leg and stuff to try to keep the beat with your body and whatnot. You see a lot of people doing this and stuff. They'll be shaking their head, nodding their head, or using their feet or whatever to try to keep that beat going. Especially if you're in a band and stuff and the drummer back there is keeping a solid beat and stuff, and so you're trying to keep up with that beat playing a song. It's all down strums. That is simply me trying to keep up with the metronome. And you can use individual strings to try to do the same thing. So and all you're simply doing at that point in time and stuff is, like I said, trying to get a strumming pattern, a beating pattern consistent. Or a picking pattern consistent. Now most songs and stuff, for a lot of songs, they're not going to be using the strings this way, so if you want to jump around on the strings, go from the E string down to the high E string to try to get this hand right here to memorize where these strings are. A lot of times I have my fingers against the pick guard right there, or If you don't have a pick like I have, and this is a flimsy pick, I like this pick because of how flimsy it gets. You can literally flex it pretty good. It takes a lot of the vibration out of my fingers so the pick doesn't flip out of my fingers. But, so yeah, you can sit there and work on, but if you don't have a pick, you can also use your fingers. Get yourself used to using your fingers when you're trying to keep up with the metronome. This shouldn't hurt your fingers too much. If it does, you might not be picking the strings properly, or trying to pick too much of the strings at one time, or it could be just soft skin. It's something where you just need to work on building skin up on your thumb or fingers or whatnot. There's other YouTube videos out there that show different styles of picking, different kinds of picks you can use, whether it be with your fingers or with a pick. I like using a pick myself, but eventually I plan on learning how to pick better with my fingers and stuff. I think picking with an acoustic guitar actually sounds better with your fingers than what it does with a pick, but I also like using a pick. So besides just the warm-ups and practices and stuff, the exercise part, so I do say exercise when I say this and stuff, because the muscles in your fingers when you're doing this are not used to what they're doing. So as you're doing this, you're actually building up muscles in your fingers doing these practices. Kind of the same thing as walking and stuff. When you're walking down the road, you're using the muscles in your legs and your feet or whatnot. Well, this is the same way. Your fingers are basically doing the walking. And so you're building up the muscles on your fingers, and the fingertips, building up the skin there. So besides just doing this and stuff, because this can be boring after a while, especially after a half hour just going back and forth like that. I tend to change it up a little bit. And when you're new to playing and stuff, most likely you're going to have to end up looking at where your fingertips are or fingers are and stuff. I've been doing it luckily long enough and stuff to where most of the time I don't need to see where my fingers are going. My fingers are used to going in those spots and stuff and making that sound. Now, when you're doing this also and stuff, you can see my pinky and stuff. It's not too close to the fret. Being closer to the fret actually makes it better. Makes a better sound to it. But the skin on my fingers and stuff has gotten strong enough to where I can actually press them down. You don't have to press really hard, just enough to get that sound to ring out. If you're not pressing hard enough, you get that sound, which is kind of a muted sound. It's basically down enough to where you can hear it. But when you're going through these and stuff, if you want to add something to it, go through one string, make a G chord. Go through another string, make another G chord. I'm still working on that myself. The transition from going from one note to a chord is something I'm working on. As you can see, as I said and stuff, I've only been doing this for about 4 months. So I'm playing a G chord right there and stuff. I'll do one set and then play a G chord. Or I'll do another set and try an A chord, so I can get the right string. Or do a D chord. And no, I'm not a teacher. I'm just hoping to be more of an inspirational help tool. I watch somebody else, and hopefully they put out more videos and stuff of their guitar playing and improvements and stuff. And if you have a video and stuff of you learning how to play guitar, and you want to share it with me, go right on ahead. Post it in the comments and stuff. I have no problems looking at it and stuff, checking out what you're doing. I can provide inspirational help. Something that I have that's involved in guitar playing, and I mentioned in other videos, is dedication. 4 keys to the dedication is one being focus, another one being inspiration, commitment, and then goals. Goals being set yourself a goal. If you want to try to be able to get to where you can play this right here at 300 beats per minute, that can be a goal. If you want to, if you could only have time to play for a half hour a day and stuff, and that's perfectly fine. That's your commitment to it, half hour a day. Better to be playing a half hour a day than spend 2 hours a week, split up between 3 days a week or what, not playing. Consistent basis is key to this, which is what I call focus. So instead of, I know I play a little bit of video games every so often and stuff, it kind of takes my mind off things, or watch movies or whatnot. But focusing on the guitar playing, since you have it here and you wanted to learn in the first place, there was obviously something that caused you to want to learn, a goal per se. So continue picking it up, continue playing it and stuff. You don't have to have the same guitar, the same setup I have and stuff. Just having any guitar and stuff, there's some people I've heard out there and stuff that they only have like 2 strings left on their guitar. Well, that's fine. You can still get some practice until you have the money to be able to buy another the strings. Most of the time strings only cost, I think, roughly $10 for a set of strings. If you don't know how to put them on, they tend to put them on there for you and stuff. This guitar literally cost $40 to restring. $40, that was it. But something else, I mean, if you only have 1 string and stuff, make sure it's in the right tuning and whatnot, and you can do something else like this. Now, when I first started, I couldn't do it that fast. It was very slow. I'm just trying to demonstrate what something else you can do if you are lacking strings on your guitar, if you've broken a couple of them or not. But if you broke strings and stuff and you haven't gotten repaired, it's likely either 1, you're really tight on money, or 2, you just really haven't had time to, or 3, which I hope this one isn't the case, but you just didn't feel like getting it fixed and stuff and coming back to the guitar. I hope that's not the case, but I can understand and stuff. Money can be kind of tight, and when you have strings that break and stuff and you don't have time to go get them replaced, it's fully understandable. But there's still things you can do on the guitar and stuff. It doesn't require all 6 strings. But it is very helpful to have all 6 strings and continue practicing with it. So, something else I've been working on, and I had to have help and tips with this. The first song I started learning how to play, one of the first songs, was Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Sources that I used to learn to play this song, because I wasn't sure where to go. I wasn't even sure how to practice, honestly. What should I start learning first? And I found out that this is something I should start learning first, as well as the chords. And I could show you what most of all these chords are and stuff, but there's so many chords out there, it's unreal. Here's I think I was told that that's an F minor chord, which I'm still trying to improve. If I put my middle finger down, it turns into an F major, I believe. And then you can, shift that down. Other things like power chords. Different strumming patterns with them. So in order to strum just the 2 strings by themselves, you can hear the other strings, but they are actually muted. So that's muted, but you can hear it. Same way with that one, same way with that one, and that one. When you go plug into an amp and stuff, you won't actually hear those. You only actually hear that, for example. So I just turn a knob up on the thing here. Now, yes, I am strumming more than just those 2 strings. So if you can practice just getting those 2 strings strummed instead of all the strings or just 4 strings or whatnot, get the better sounds. But you can do the same thing here. Now, making this particular kind of chord and stuff, it's my first finger's going across and stuff, and I pretty much only got pressure on this first string. The other strings and stuff, my fingers are just covering. My middle finger's going across as well, and it's only got pressure on that second string right there. I'm using my first finger to hold the strings down, especially if you're barring, to hold the string down. You don't need a lot of pressure, but with the soft skin that I have, so it's exercises you could work on. Again, find other sources to help you with things that I am showing you that may benefit you more. There's a person that I watch on Twitch that all the time streams and stuff. He streams late at night my time, and he's been playing for 20 plus years, and he knows about all this. He knows about the electronics, about the guitars, how they're built, what's inside of them. He repairs them, knows how to play all kinds of different chords, triads, all sorts of stuff. And you watch his Twitch and stuff, and he'll just be sitting there strumming, making all kinds of sound. He's in a band and stuff, so he's always trying to come up with something new for his band. But yeah, practicing this right here, it can be done down here. It can be done right here. It can be done pretty much anywhere on the guitar, even down here in these lower strings. Now, you may not be able to do it as fast as what I'm doing it, and that's perfectly fine. When I first started playing and stuff, I could actually barely do that because I know my fingers don't really fit those frets very well. I also couldn't bend strings, do hammer-ons, pull-offs. Hammer-on is something where you literally just, you pluck one string, get that sound, and then bring another finger down on top of that string. You can actually hear it a little bit. So I'm bringing it down hard enough to vibrate the string and stuff without even having to pull off and stuff, is where you actually grab the string a little bit with a little bit of your skin, sort of thing. Bending the strings and stuff, I was always told if you have the opportunity, use 3 fingers. If you don't, use 2 if you can. Otherwise, using 1 and stuff is a lot of pressure on your fingers, especially if you're first starting and you get those finger pains. The finger pain sort of thing and stuff, I would say once you start getting it one day, take a break from using your fingers on the fretboard, do the strumming, watch YouTube videos. If you're enrolled in any online courses, watch those. Come back to it, try 4 hours later, then try 8 hours later, then try maybe the next day. I wouldn't quit completely. The pain will go away. The pain will also come back, but after 2 weeks, you shouldn't notice the pain anymore whatsoever. I could sit here and play for literally 2 hours, 3 hours straight, and the only thing I may feel is a little bit of tension on the bottom of my hand, the muscles, from where I'm exercising my fingers back and forth, building up the muscles in my fingers and hand and everything like that. But yeah, so you can, like I said, I wouldn't say doing it that fast, but try to get the placement of your fingers proper. When you lift your fingers off, don't bring them all the way out too far. Just try to lift them up far enough where maybe a quarter, half, maybe an inch off the string. That way, if you decide you want to try to make something up with this, there's hardly any travel space between your fingers and the strings. The closer you have them, the easier it is to play something kind of like this. I can't play it very fast, but so I mean that's like 4 months of playing. Most of my time is either an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, but once the finger pain was gone, I could literally spend all day playing the guitar and stuff and continue practicing this stuff over and over and over. Get better at playing these songs that I'm working on. Granted, that's not the entire song, but and that may be a little off. I am still working on that. That kind of be your next thing to work on. I do see a lot of people, they like to play the Seven Nation Army song. When you're playing this song and stuff, I try to avoid sliding your fingers through the string so much. You've got 4 fingers there. Use all 4 of them. So, like for instance, I'm using my pinky to come down on the 10th fret right there. And when I get up here and I come back on that note, instead of bringing my, just another song that's kind of like that and stuff that I found myself. I've actually found about 4 or 5 songs that are a lot like that you can play through. And I looked this up the other day. It's Lean On Me. And there's a few different ways to play it. I found there's chords you can use. There's this method right here. So, and then there's also Jingle Bells. If you want to know how to play some of these songs I found on Ultimate Guitar and stuff, has tablature, or you can find somebody that's played it and stuff on their guitar that's showing a YouTube video of it and try to mimic what they're doing. But you can change these things around. So, like Lean On Me doesn't have to be played necessarily right here. I can add a string to it. Now, it may not be something for a beginner to work on learning and stuff, but challenging yourself to get faster at these exercises and warm-ups, these songs or whatnot and stuff, getting them to where you can memorize them, and get faster at them and stuff is key. Use your metronome. If you can turn it up to 60 one day and play faster, or turn it up to 200 one day and play faster, that shows you that you're progressing, you're getting better. You went from 100 beats per minute, being able to 200 beats per minute, going now, that's probably not 200 beats per minute. It's probably closer to about 175. I've obviously still got more work to do. But the help I needed the other day and stuff was, so I was trying to sing this song and play it on the guitar at the same time. And I was told that if you have to think about too much, you won't be able to do it. Have to think about the lyrics, then it may mess you up on the guitar playing. If you have to think about what chords come next, or your strumming pattern, and I'm still working on it, or your strumming pattern and stuff, because you notice when I'm sitting here strumming and stuff, even though I may not be hitting the strings, I'm trying to keep the beat with this hand, and that's a very good practice to get into. Keep a steady keeping a steady beat with your hands. Use this hand to mute strings, or use your palm to mute strings. So all I'm basically doing is I strum it, and I gently put the back of my hand against the strings. There's also palm muting and stuff. Which with an amp turned up into it and stuff, it sounds... But again, it's just a consistent thing. You got to do it daily. Keep working out your fingers and all that sort of things. I think that's going to be it for this video. That was already a half hour long right there, and you can see I flew through a half hour just warming and practicing and exercising without even thinking about it. But yeah, if you have any videos and stuff that you want to share with me and stuff, get my opinion on it, see where you can find help with these certain things, tuning, knowing the guitar, playing, practicing, exercising and stuff. I found all kinds of sources out there and stuff, and I can help you find those sources too. I hope to keep inspiring more people and stuff, see more people playing. If I end up getting a lot of videos, I may not get through them all the time and stuff, just because I'm going to spend most of my time sitting here playing the guitar, and when I need to take a break from it for a little bit, my back needs a break, or my hands need a break, or I just need to stand up and stretch my body out and stuff, I may stop and get in my comfy chair there and stuff, and watch some YouTube videos, leave some comments or whatnot. Now, I point over here and stuff because I do have another guitar I play with. I play on this guitar right here. This guitar has a completely different sound because of the fact I think it's built completely differently. I asked my friend about that the other day, and he says, well, it could have what's called a pull body right here, to where this is hollowed out right here, and this is covering it all up, and the pickups on it or whatnot and stuff are actually mounted to this or whatever and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I like this guitar because it has a quieter sound to it, a deeper, quieter sound, which is, in my opinion, great. Because if I ever get into a band, I plan on using this guitar for rhythm playing, for using those chords and being more of in the background sound for the band, while the lead and the singer are sitting there doing their parts. The other guitar and stuff is a better guitar for lead positions. It's got a brighter pickup to it and all that sort of stuff. But I think I've ran this video long enough. It's 31 minutes long already, so I'm gonna let you guys get at it and stuff. I hope to see videos out there. I'll try to put more videos up on in the future and stuff of my guitar progress and stuff, since I'm asking for others to do it too. Like I said, challenge yourself with the metronome. You can get free metronomes on the phone, as well as tuners and stuff. One day when you're at 50 beats, try to turn it up the next day to maybe 60 beats. If you can keep up with that, next day go to 70 beats, 80 beats. You'll eventually run into a brick wall there and stuff that's saying like, no, you can't exceed 100 beats, your fingers just aren't fast enough. And your fingers will increase their speed. The more you use them, the more you build up the muscles in them, they'll speed up. They will get there. It just takes time. Believe me, I started with, I was like, I'm never going to get this and stuff, and then eventually, over days and stuff, it just started coming together. So, until next time, thank you.